Hey there, science fans! Welcome to another exciting journey into the world of science. Have you ever wondered how your body gets all the energy it needs to run, jump, and even think? It's a fascinating process that happens every second of every day. It all starts with tiny cells, the building blocks of life. These cells are like miniature factories, working tirelessly to keep us alive and active. And inside those cells, there's a remarkable process happening called cellular respiration. This process is essential for converting the food we eat into usable energy. Imagine your cells as bustling cities, and just like any city, they need energy to keep things running smoothly. Every part of the cell has a role to play, just like different parts of a city. Cellular respiration is like the power plant of the cell, constantly generating the energy our bodies need to function. The mitochondria, often called the powerhouse of the cell, are where this energy production happens. This process is happening inside you right now. Whether you're exercising, studying, or even sleeping, your cells are hard at work. From the beating of your heart to the blinking of your eyes, cellular respiration is the engine that keeps us going. It's an incredible system that ensures we have the energy to perform all our daily activities. So, buckle up as we take a closer look at this amazing process and discover the science behind how our cells produce energy. We'll explore the steps of cellular respiration and see how each stage contributes to the overall energy production. Get ready to be amazed by the wonders happening inside your own body. To understand cellular respiration, we need to meet the stars of the show, the mitochondria. These tiny bean-shaped organelles are often called the powerhouses of the cell, and for a good reason. Mitochondria are like tiny factories within our cells, working tirelessly to convert the food we eat into usable energy. They have a double membrane, an outer membrane and a highly folded inner membrane. These folds are important because they increase the surface area for energy production. Think of it like this: the more surface area you have, the more room you have to work. And the mitochondria are all about maximizing their workspace to generate as much energy as possible. Now you might be wondering, what form does this energy take? Well, the energy produced by the mitochondria is stored in a special molecule called ATP, which stands for adenosine triphosphate. Think of ATP as the energy currency of your cells. Just like we use money to buy things, cells use ATP to power all their activities. The cool thing about ATP is that it can store and release energy very quickly. When a cell needs energy, it breaks down ATP, releasing the stored energy to fuel its activities. This process is constantly happening in our bodies, ensuring a steady supply of energy for everything we do. Cellular respiration is a complex process that can be broken down into three main stages: glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain. Each stage plays a crucial role in converting glucose, sugar, from the food we eat into ATP, the energy currency of our cells. It's like a relay race, with each runner or stage passing the baton or energy to the next runner until the finish line, ATP production, is reached. Now let's dive into each stage and see how they work together to keep our cells powered up. Section 5: Glycolysis, breaking down sugar for a quick energy boost. The first stage of cellular respiration, glycolysis, takes place in the cytoplasm of the cell, the jelly-like substance that surrounds the cell's organelles. This is where the magic begins, as the cell starts to convert glucose into usable energy. Think of glycolysis as the quick energy stage. It's the cell's way of getting a rapid energy boost. Much like a quick snack can give you a burst of energy when you're feeling tired. It's like a sprinter dashing for the finish line, providing a quick burst of energy to get things started. Just as a sprinter needs that initial burst to propel forward, cells need glycolysis to kickstart the energy production process. During glycolysis, a molecule of glucose or sugar is broken down into two molecules of pyruvate. This breakdown is crucial because it sets the stage for the next steps in cellular respiration. This process releases a small amount of ATP, the energy currency of the cell, and some electrons, which are carried by a molecule called NADH, to the next stage. ATP provides the immediate energy needed for various cellular functions. Although glycolysis only produces a small amount of ATP, it's an important first step in cellular respiration, setting the stage for the energy-rich stages to come. Without glycolysis, the cell wouldn't be able to proceed to the more energy-efficient stages that follow, making it a vital process for life. Section 6: The Krebs cycle, a cellular merry-go-round of energy production. The second stage, the Krebs cycle, takes place inside the mitochondria, our cellular powerhouses. Imagine the Krebs cycle as a cellular merry-go-round with molecules hopping on and off, releasing energy along the way. During the Krebs cycle, pyruvate from glycolysis is further broken down, releasing carbon dioxide as a waste product. More importantly, this cycle generates even more ATP and electrons, which are carried by NADH and another molecule called FAD2 to the final stage of cellular respiration. The Krebs cycle is like the workhorse of cellular respiration, steadily churning out energy-carrying molecules to fuel the final stage. Section 7. The electron transport chain, the grand finale of cellular respiration. The grand finale of cellular respiration, the electron transport chain, takes place on the inner membrane of the mitochondria. This is where the magic happens, transforming the energy stored in molecules into a form that our cells can use. Picture this stage as a relay race with electrons passed from one molecule to another, releasing energy along the way. Each handoff is crucial, ensuring that the energy is transferred efficiently and effectively. This energy is used to pump protons, positively charged particles, across the inner mitochondrial membrane, creating a proton gradient. This gradient is essential for the next steps in the process. This proton gradient is like a dam holding back a rush of water. The potential energy stored in this gradient is immense, just waiting to be unleashed. The protons want to flow back across the membrane, and they can only do so through a special protein called ATP synthase. This protein acts as a gatekeeper, controlling the flow of protons. As protons flow through ATP synthase, it acts like a turbine, using the energy to generate large amounts of ATP. This process is akin to how a hydroelectric dam generates electricity from flowing water. This final stage is the most efficient ATP-producing stage of cellular respiration, generating the bulk of the ATP our cells need to function. Without this process, our cells would be starved of the energy required for all their vital functions, from muscle contraction to nerve impulse transmission. The ATP produced here powers everything we do, from the simplest cellular processes to the most complex physical activities. It truly is the powerhouse of the cell. Section 8. ATP yield, counting the energy currency. So far, we've seen how the three stages of cellular respiration work together to convert glucose into ATP. But how much ATP is actually produced? The theoretical maximum yield of ATP from one molecule of glucose is around 36 to 38 ATP molecules. However, the actual yield can vary depending on the cell type and conditions. Think of it like this. Just like a car's gas mileage can vary depending on factors like driving conditions and the car's efficiency, so too can the ATP yield of cellular respiration vary. Regardless of the exact number, cellular respiration is a remarkably efficient process, providing our cells with a steady supply of energy to power all our activities. Section 9. Cellular respiration and it's all connected. Cellular respiration may seem like a microscopic process, but it has a huge impact on our everyday lives. Every time you take a breath, you're taking in oxygen, a key ingredient in the electron transport chain. And every time you eat, the food you consume is broken down into glucose, which fuels cellular respiration. Without cellular respiration, our cells wouldn't have the energy they need to function, and we wouldn't be able to do any of the things we love. From the beating of our hearts to the thinking in our brains, cellular respiration is essential for life as we know it. Section 10. Fun facts about cellular respiration. Here are some fun facts about cellular respiration to impress your friends. Did you know that plants also carry out cellular respiration? Even though they make their own food through photosynthesis, they still need cellular respiration to convert that food into usable energy. The mitochondria, where most of cellular respiration takes place, have their own DNA, separate from the cell's DNA. This suggests that mitochondria were once free-living organisms that were engulfed by other cells billions of years ago. Some organisms, like yeast, can carry out a modified version of cellular respiration called fermentation when oxygen is scarce. This process is what gives us delicious bread and beer. Section 11. Conclusion: cellular respiration, a vital process for life. Cellular respiration is an amazing and complex process that's happening inside us right now, providing our cells with the energy they need to function. From the breakdown of glucose to the generation of ATP, each stage of cellular respiration plays a crucial role in keeping us alive and active. So next time you take a breath, eat a meal, or simply marvel at the wonders of your own body, remember the incredible process of cellular respiration that's happening within every one of your cells. It's a true testament to the power and efficiency of nature.